Hi, Orchard friends and families. Happy New Year, and thank you for being here and getting ready to come back next week. I'm excited today because Brandon Sorge, who is an Orchard parent and also a member of our Board of Trustees, as well as the chair of our Buildings and Grounds Committee, has joined me here today to talk a little bit more about the work that we did around our HVAC system to make sure that we could create the healthiest indoor environment for our Orchard students. So Brandon, thank you. I appreciate it. And I'm so grateful for the work of the committee and your work and all of the experts who put the time in to make sure that we'd be ready for this moment that we're in right now. Could you talk a little bit about what the process was and the system that we adopted and how it works?
Sure, Sherry. I'd like to second your thanks to all of those people who were involved in helping us get ready, from our maintenance staff to the parents who are MDs, to the parents who are involved in the HVAC and building and construction, to the members of the Board of Trustees and the Building and Grounds Committee who really worked diligently with us over the summer to make sure we were ready for the start of school. With the HVAC system, we chose an ionization system that had been shown to be effective on most daily germs and bacteria, flu and other COVID-type viruses. When we selected it, we didn't know if it was going to be effective against COVID-19. What we did know is it was likely to be effective against COVID-19, and either way, it was still going to be advantageous for helping decrease the spread of germs and disease within our school. We recently found out that it's 99.9% effective at deactivating the COVID virus. So what that really means to us is, when you look at the spread of COVID, if someone sneezes, you're looking at 6 to 10 feet where it's effective at spreading. With our new system, it drops it down to about 2 to 3 feet. And that's not taking into account students wearing masks and other things like that. The other plus why we chose the system that we did is that it releases these ionized particles that help cover surfaces, help stick to the virus itself, and so it's not just taking things out of the air, but it's cleaning the surfaces that are here. It's also designed so that it works well with our HVAC system, which is really important. When COVID came, the maintenance staff opened up the fresh air coming into their HVAC system, maximizing the amount of fresh air we brought in that was exceeding CDC and EPA guidelines for fresh air intake in schools per person. So then they took the system, and we have 7 different units spread throughout the building to ionize and clean the air as it goes through. It's designed to work perfectly with the amount of fresh air and the space that we have within our building, which is partly why we don't want to open windows, because we're changing the makeup of the air, and we're actually making the air less safe and less clean than it would otherwise be. In September, we had an air quality test check done, and it was the best we've ever had. Not that it was ever bad, but the best we ever had. We exceeded CDC guidelines and EPA guidelines, and we're really, really happy with it.
Brandon, talk to me a little bit about this piece about, we have all been reading about CDC guidance for folks if they are gathering in spaces with people outside of their households to open windows, bring in more outdoor air. And so you spoke about the ways in which this system works to its maximum capacity. So can you just talk a little bit more about that? What's different, for example, with a home heating and air filtration system versus what we're working with here at Orchard?
So there are a number of things to think about, right? When you're thinking about the entire system that you're working with. At our homes, we may have a HEPA filter, which is going to filter out the air as it comes through. The system we have at Orchard is actually with us everywhere now. So coming out of these vents, we've got stuff cleaning these tables, cleaning the floors, making things safer, cleaning our air as we go. If we open the window in this case, we're actually detracting from what this is doing. In our houses, we don't have that happening. So that's the big difference between it. We also actually have the HEPA filters and many of the filters within our rooms as well, and following CDC guidelines, we've increased the changing of that as well. Well, that wouldn't be affected by the incoming air. It's still an important piece, which is the HVAC system, of what we're doing to keep everyone safe.
Brandon, the thing that I'm really grateful for is that back in May, June, July, when this work was happening to plan for the upcoming school year, we were keenly aware that there were distinctive stages of the school year that we would need to plan for. That part of the school year when we'd be able to have our students outside even more frequently than we have in the past, But we knew this time was coming when the weather would mean that we could not be outside as often as we would like. And so I'm grateful that you and others led that work so that we could be ready for the moment that we're in right now as we prepare to welcome our students back. So thank you, Brandon. I'm really grateful.
Thank you, Sherry, and thanks to everybody who was involved in this. It truly was teamwork.
Yes. Team Orchard.